Hello and good afternoon from Gibb Pool on the campus of Washington State University in Pullman. Swimming duel today between the Washington State Cougars and the Denver Pioneers. Both teams ready to go, so we're going to get started here with the 400-yard medley relay beginning things. Washington State 8-0 in duels last year, undefeated in that setup, including a win over Denver. Meanwhile, the Denver Pioneers come in as the reigning 12-time Summit League champions in a row in women's swimming and diving. They are picked to make it a baker's dozen this year, so it should be a good one, and a happy Halloween, of course, to you and yours. Few folks in costumes here at the pool. As we get set for that 400 medley relay, first we'll keep an eye on lanes 4 and 5, where you'll see the A teams of Denver and Washington State. In the case of the Pioneers, Allie Bay leading the charge. Tania winner Julia Saxman and Angie Wyand will follow. On the Washington State side of things, Jade Castro will lead things off in lane 5. And of course, Emily Lundgren, the Mountain West Swimmer of the Year last year. She'll take the second leg. Izzy Parrish third, and Darcy Revitt, also outstanding Washington State swimmer, Freshman of the Year in the Mountain West Conference last year. She will head things up from there. First of back-to-back days in the pool for the Washington State Cougars. They'll take on Northern Arizona tomorrow morning here at Gibb Pool. Same for the Denver Pioneers. They'll head across the border to take on the Idaho Vandals tomorrow. As you see folks getting ready to hop in. The Cougar swimmers in tech suits, really both sides in the tech suits. Russell Whitaker in his weekly press conference today, the head coach of the Washington State Cougars, mentioning that he thinks some school records could perhaps be in play today with the tech suits on. Second year as head coach for Whitaker, his 9th year on staff. We'll start with the 400-yard medley relay, and we'll close with a relay as well, the 200-yard freestyle. All individual events in between. As lane by lane they go. Alicia Hicken-Franklin, the head coach of the Denver Pioneers. She's well familiar, though, with Gibb Pool. Was an assistant here right out of her time at the University of Minnesota as a swimmer. Master's degree from here. Lots of time at Denver. So folks set. And we'll keep perhaps a little bit closer eye. Jade Castro, Washington State in lane 5. Allie Bay in lane 4 for Denver. So we are all set. And off they go. Opening event of this duel. Again, Washington State beating Denver in a duel in Denver last year, and this the return trip. Early on, the lead is in lane 3. Anna Rockholtz, the Washington State B side. Otherwise, about 3 wide. You see those lanes 4 and 5 very close between Denver and Washington State. 2 back and forth for each side to cover the 100 yards. Right now, the lead is with Rockholtz in lane 3. And Jade Castro in lane 5 right behind, with the Denver A team, Allie Bay in 3rd. Rockholtz with the lead in lane 3. Which will give way to Ashlyn Hernandez, swimmer from San Diego. So Washington State off to a strong start, leading in the top 2 places at the moment, with Denver's A side in 3rd. And in lane 5 right now, it's Emily Lundgren, Mountain West Swimmer of the Year. All sorts of records set by this Washington State team, rewriting the record books in the last year or two. In lane 3, Ashlyn Hernandez, really a duel between the 2 Washington State relay sides in the middle at the moment. Kaya Witter for Denver in the third spot in lane 4. In lane 1, the closest to us. Lane 8, the furthest away. That's a 7-team relay. As now in the lead, it is the Washington State A side in lane 5. Emily Lundgren giving away to Izzy Parrish. They are in front. Then in second, it is the Washington State B. Morabito in the pool for the Cougars. Denver in third. Julia Saxman in the pool for the Pioneers right now. Lane 5 getting out there quickly. And it is Parrish right now. She's making her loop before Darcy Revitt is the anchor leg for the Washington State A. They are in front as Revitt goes. And Barbara Leiste for Washington State. And the anchor for Denver, Angie Wyatt. And Washington State A, though, flying right now. Darcy Revitt from Guildford, England. And the freshman of the year in the Mountain West Conference last year. They've opened up a big advantage now. 3 or 4 lengths over the Washington State B. Revitt making her way back. 3 or 4 lengths ahead. And the final time goes on the board, 3:37.78 for the Washington State A. Washington State B finishes third, then Denver's A side third. We check the time, 3:37.78. That is just shy of the Gibb pool record set back here in January. Emily Lundgren was on that relay side. That was 3:37 flat. They were just 78 hundredths of a second behind it. So a strong start for Washington State as they take the first 2 spots. Denver's A side in third. Washington State leading 15-2 early on, taking most of the points there in the 400 medley relay. Attention shifts immediately to the 1,000-yard freestyle. Lane 5 is Avery Bulkley, who was the freshman of the week in the Mountain West last week. Or her last opportunity, Fresno State invite. She was also part of the team that did the open water swimming in Long Beach. A few swimmers for the Cougars taking on that challenge. Swimmers up now for the 1,000-yard freestyle. Nika Spehar for Denver. She's in the record books with her time just a little over 10 minutes. Once again, this is the 1,000-yard freestyle. Early lead is in lane 4 to Spehar of the Pioneers. On lane 5, mentioned Avery Bulkley. Keep an eye on those in the middle. Paige Riley also in the record books for Denver. She in lane 2 for the Pioneers. And that is the second closest to us in the water. Right now, again, you have not only Avery Bulkley, but Sophie Hay. 2 young swimmers, just 18 years old, leading the way. It is tight between them both right now. And in between them is Nika Spehar in third. And Washington State in the top 2 spots at the moment. Right now the lead is with Bulkley, but only by a little. About a forearm's length at most. He might be catching up a little bit on this leg. Bulkley by about a head's length over Hay. Speyer in third. I beg your pardon. Actually, Hannah Huarte of Washington State in third. Out in lane 7. Got to keep an eye there. And she has picked up the pace now on the far side of the pool. So right now, Washington State in the top 3 spots. Bulkley slightly ahead of both Hay and Huarte. The 3 of them are flying right now. I mentioned lane 2, Paige Riley. She has picked up and hopped into 4th spot. Having a watch right now. Looks to be Huarte in lane 7 with the lead. It is oh so close. It is Huarte, followed by Bulkley and Hay. Those 3 swimming almost neck and neck here. Washington State in pink caps today. It is their pink meet, honoring survivors of breast cancer, raising awareness for continued research. Hannah Huarte in the lead for Washington State. Again, she out in lane 7. Holding steady with the lead now. And it is still not much. Huarte makes the turn. It's now almost a full body's length lead for Hannah Huarte. Huarte, junior from Sammamish, Washington, east side of Seattle. Currently in front, and Bulkley and Hay following behind. Riley in 4th. Speyer in 6th for Denver. Genevieve Franklin in 7th. And this is the 1,000 free. So it is a total of 40 lengths of the pool. Right now, looking at the times, not even quite about halfway through right now. Huarte has opened up the advantage over her teammates Avery Bulkley and Sophie Hay. It is a full body length at the moment for Huarte. Huarte, Bulkley, and Hay the 3. Avery, should say Paige Riley in 4th, and then in 5th, Vivian Nett of Washington State in lane 1. Bringing things a bit closer to here. Huarte maintaining her lead. This time-wise near about the halfway point of this one. And a Huarte, kinesiology major, junior for Washington State. She's currently leading this. And she's held the lead for a while now. Maybe starting to narrow just a little bit now. Bulkley, strong turn, bringing things a little closer. Huarte, specialist in the distance events here, and showing why here on this Halloween Friday in Pullman. And Huarte in the lead, Bulkley second. Distances open up. Hay in third. Paige Riley and Vivianetta, fourth place tie at the moment. I mentioned that first relay for Washington State. It was not far off the Gibb pool record. Last year, Hannah Huarte posting a Washington State top 10 time in this event. It was just a 10:05.33. Still a ways to go in this one. Huarte in the lead. Bulkley, though, getting a bit closer now. Lead down to half a length for Hannah Huarte. But those two have really separated themselves from the rest of the field at the moment. We have Huarte in lane 7, further out. And Bulkley in lane 5, right about in the middle. It's become a bit of a two-woman race at this point. Huarte again in front, but it's almost neck and neck now. Huarte and Bulkley. And Spahar has turned it on. Made her way into third spot. Closing in on the two Cougars at this point. Huarte and Bulkley. Now right about neck and neck here. About 3/4 of the way through. And Bulkley retaking the lead on that last turn. Avery Bulkley, the reigning Mountain West Freshman of the Week. She out in front now of Hannah Huarte. Shoulder length at most. He has put a little bit of distance now. Can Huarte reel her in? And Bulkley maybe extending a bit further now. And again, Nika Spahar of Denver has closed on them both. Bulkley 1, Huarte 2, Spahar 3. This one's starting to come down to the close. Not quite there yet as you hear the sound level and Gibb pool rise a bit. Bulkley still leading Huarte and Spahar. We hit 9 minutes and 40 seconds and the bell rings. Final trip with Bulkley in front, Huarte in second, Spahar in third. Avery Bulkley leading. She makes the final turn and heads home. Bulkley and Huarte. Huarte closing a bit. But it looks like it'll be Avery Bulkley. She will take it. 10:12:47 the final time. Hannah Huarte right behind her at 10:13:22. Nika Spahar finishing third for Denver at 10:15:11. So Washington State 1 and 2, Denver 3. As final swimmer Genevieve Franklin makes it home for Denver. So the strong start for Washington State continues as they take the top two spots. Paige Riley looked like ended up fourth there for Denver. This will be Washington State top two, Denver third and fourth in the 1,000-yard freestyle. 29-7, Washington State now in the lead. As we now get set for the 100-yard backstroke. Allie Bay for Denver in lane 4. 200-yard freestyle, beg your pardon. I got ahead of myself there. One event. Thank you, Jared Prengoober. Appreciate it. 200-yard freestyle here. Lauren Willie in lane 5 for Washington State. In Denver, Samantha Sinsvall, who won this event a week ago in an event back in Colorado. Sinsvall, freshman swimmer, was the state champion as a junior. Multiple records set there, and she's gotten off to a strong collegiate start. So go lane by lane. Izzy Parrish in lane 3. That's Samantha Sinsvall there in lane 4. Lauren Willie lane 5, and Izzy Burton in lane 6. Tatum Janning to close for Washington State in lane 7. Swimmers up again for the 200 free, third event of this duel. Quick start for lane 3's Izzy Parrish of Washington State. As Parrish taking the early advantage. Isabel Parrish, sophomore from Moses Lake, not too far away. She taking the early lead. Lauren Willie for Washington State second. Samantha Sinsvall third for Denver. And it's the 200 free. Four laps, 8 lengths. Now it is lane 5's Lauren Willie. It looked like it was, and Izzy Parrish, they were right neck and neck. Sinsvall 13 and Janning 4th for Washington State. Sienna Nitke in 5th for the Pioneers. It is close between lanes 3 through 5 at the moment. With Willie in the lead just barely. Parrish on her heels and Sinsvall closing as well. And 3 wide there in lanes 3 through 5. And Sinsvall closing on both Willie and Parrish. There's Willie in the lead though. As to the wall, it is Lauren Willie for Washington State. Sinsvall finishing second. Again, closed with great strength. Isabel Parrish third. Tatum Janning fourth. So Washington State 3 of the 4 scoring spots there. And there you see Lauren Willie. With the victory. That is career win number 6 for Willie, and her second of this season. And the score will grow for Washington State here. The Cougars getting off to the start they were looking to in their first home event of the 2025-2026 season. Down the 100-yard backstroke. In the middle, Allie Bay in lane 4 for Denver. Jade Castro in lane 5 for Washington State. Anna Rockholtz, the experienced swimmer, in lane 3 for the Cougars. One by one, Caitlin Bluford start, then Darian Kohler for Denver. And a Rockholtz for Washington State. Back to Denver's Allie Bay. Jade Castro for the Cougars. Elise Simple for Denver. Ariel Wang for Washington State. And then in lane 8, Maria Del Monte for the Pioneers. The 100 back here in moments. As the score now to Washington State, 43-12. Russell Whitaker in his weekly press conference saying he wanted to see his team get away with early energy in the pool, and it seems they certainly have. First length of the 100-yard backstroke. Allie Bay of Denver looked to have the early lead there. It is awfully close. Anna Rockholtz in lane 3. With the lead, Jay Castro in second, Allie Bay third. It's just the 100, so this coming back home right now. It is Rockholtz in front. Comes to it, Rockholtz has opened up the lead. Looks like she's going to take this one. As Rockholtz 53-80 to the wall. Anna Rockholtz will claim her first win of the season and 12th of her career. And 53-80. Anna Rockholtz was not far off of her own school record. Just 46 hundredths of a second behind, which she set just in February. 53-34. As the score now 57-17, Washington State's lead up to 40. That will take us to event number 5 of this duel between Washington State and Denver, the women's 100-yard breaststroke. We'll see Emily Lundgren back into the pool, two-time All-American. She in for Washington State in lane 5. Tanaya Winter of Denver in lane 4. Ashlyn Hernandez lane 2, or lane 3, beg your pardon, for Washington State. It'll start with Zoe Lynch there. Then Ashlyn Hernandez. Tanaya Winter for Denver. Emily Lundgren right next to her. So you see her there. In the record book, Lundgren all over it. It's on the wall here at Gibb Pool as well. Catherine Hyde of Washington State and Maloney as well for Denver. 100-yard breast underway here at Gibb Pool. Early lead is Lundgren's. The Chula Vista, California native. Out in front early on here. And it's close in second and third between Ashlyn Hernandez of Washington State and Tanaya Winter for Denver. Right now it is Lundgren in front, opening up the lead a bit, half a body length at least. Now she'll make the last turn. Lundgren well out in front here. Again showing why she was the conference swimmer of the year last year. All eyes on the time for Lundgren. As she will finish at 1 minute and 11 hundredths of a second. Just a little bit behind her own pool record here, but it is Lundgren first. Ashlyn Hernandez of Washington State second. Tanaya Winter of Denver third. Catherine Guide in fourth. Jide, beg your pardon. Let me get that correct. And Maloney for Denver in fifth. So Washington State again. Time performances for Emily Lundgren. Third win of the season. Individual win number 44 for Lundgren. So get the second heat now of the 100-yard breaststroke. Two Washington State swimmers, Jenna Kistler and Mac Rivera. So obviously we need to wait for their times. And would not expect them to be faster than Lundgren's 1 minute and 11 hundredths of a second, but you never know. As you have Rivera in lane 5 and Kistler in lane 3. And right now Rivera, the freshman, out in front by about half a length or so. Closing now, Kistler in lane 3. Second and a half advantage or so for Rivera in the first half of this 100-yard breaststroke heat for them. Rivera still out in front as they make their way back to close out the event. Rivera closing, Kistler as well, getting a little close lanes. See who gets to the wall here first. It is Mac Rivera. Kistler right behind her, just 32 hundredths of a second, 105.09 and 105.41 respectively. So the Washington State lead grows now, 72-21. In favor of the Cougars, 29, beg your pardon. Eyes are getting old, apparently. 72-29 in favor of Washington State. So, in the end, not much ground there. Just 3 points more for Washington State in that heat. Now to the sixth event of the duel, the women's 200-yard butterfly. Just one heat in this one. As you have a look at the lane alignments and assignments, Clara Anderson will be closest in that view in lane 1. From Moscow, just across the way. And Devin Burnett of Denver in lane 2. In lane 3, Michael Morabito and Sabrina Rachiban of Denver. And Maliki Alcine, lane 5 for Washington State. Out of Solicare, Denver in lane 6. Sawyer Yana, lane 7 for Washington State. And this the 200 fly underway. With Yalcine in the lead. Down to about half a length. And close to see who's in second. It is Solicare for Denver. Should have been for Denver in third as well, tied with Sawyer Yana in lane 7, far out there as we see it. You'll see the lead. It is close to a full body length for the 19-year-old. Was at the turn, but I'm starting to see Sabrina Rachiban closing for the Pioneers. Alcine holding the lead. And this the 200 fly. That is coming down to it. As the lead has narrowed significantly for Yalcine. Rachiban now maybe just inching out slightly ahead of her. As it is Denver's Sabrina Rachiban in the lead by about a head's length. As it comes to the wall, and it is Rachiban for the Pioneers with their first win. Not only of the duel, but first win for Denver in this duel. Yalcin finishes second. Yana third for Washington State. The Cougars closing in the other spots. Sabrina Ronchabin, you see her there. Getting the win for the Pioneers. The first one of the day for them. 81-31 the score in the duel, but she's been happy with her work, and the Pioneers again getting an individual win. That'll take us to the 50-yard freestyle. This will be 2 heats. A full 8-swimmer heat in the first one, and then 1 swimmer to follow. As you see the lane assignments in lane 1 will be Addie Lewis for Washington State, Darian Kohler in lane 2. Have a look, of course, in the middle lanes as well. Angie Wyan for Denver in lane 4. Darcy Revitt in lane 5 for Washington State. Crowd being revved up there. Barbara Milicite for Washington State in lane 3. Keep an eye on her as well. Julia Saxman for Denver also in lane 6. Skylar Burgach, Washington State in lane 7. And Anais Montebert, French swimmer, in lane 8 for Denver. And this is the 50 free. So just back and forth. Tight early on. Leiste from Washington State look to have the early lead halfway. As it comes home, neck and neck. Leiste and Revitt to the wall first. It's Darcy Revitt, 22.63. Leiste just 12 hundredths of a second behind her in second. Addie Lewis picking up third. Angie Wyan fourth for Denver. And the winning time, Darcy Revitt, 22.63 in the 50 freestyle. And that was just 8 hundredths of a second behind Revitt's Gibb pool record last year of 22.55. And now the 9th swimmer of this event, Cecilia Renlund. Swimmer from Turku, Finland. So wait for the final results until Renlund is done. She makes the turn. And so in 22.63 was the time for Revitt. And then going. Gonna be close. 23.45. Gonna be close to the 4th place time as well. I think it is just right about on it. So we'll see if Renlund ends up scoring for Washington State. And the Cougars seeing Darcy Revitt get the win there. And the English swimmer for Revitt. 2nd individual win of the season, 14th of her career. As the score now reads 97-34 in favor of Washington State. And we've reached our first break, so we will step aside for a bit and come back here on YouTube. Welcome back to Gibb Pool. At the first break of this duel between the Washington State Cougars and the Denver Pioneers, it's Washington State leading 97-34. All but one event won on this Halloween Friday. Steve Harvey of Family Feud and crew joining us here. Top 100 answers on the board, or top 5 answers on the board. Name something you do in a pool. Win races. I'd have to think that'd be number 2 or number 3. I think people would go swim number 1. But win races, it's got to be on there. It's the one you need in order to win. So we get set for the 100-yard freestyle as we get back going. Lane assignments, Catherine Jide in lane 1 for Washington State. Tanaya Winter in lane 2. Orbra Milicite, Washington State in 3rd. Angie Wyan, should say, in lane 3. Lane 4, Angie Wyan. Darcy Revitt in lane 5, so we'll be keeping an eye on Wyan and Revitt in the middle there. Izzy Burton will be in lane 6. Cecilia Renlund in lane 7. Sienna Nitke of Denver in lane 8. Renlund for Washington State. Izzy Burton, Denver Pioneer as well. As that's Milicite you see there. Angie Wyant, by Darcy Revitt. Izzy Burton for the Pioneers. Cecilia Renlund for Washington State. And Sienna Nitke rounding out this 8-woman heat. There'll be a second heat following. 2 swimmers in the middle. With the scoring likely to occur here in this heat 1. 100-yard freestyle, 8th event of the day. 14 in total. As the swimmers being announced now here at Gibb Pool. Darcy Revitt being presented to the crowd. And the English swimmer already with an individual win on the day. Looking to make a second one here in the 100 freestyle. Swimmers up. I'm glad you're with us here on YouTube. Again, this is the 100 free. 2 laps were underway. Not a lot of separation in the early going. I think it might be Sienna Nitke of Denver with the very early lead. But now in lane 5 it is Darcy Revitt. She'll get first to the wall halfway through at 23.72. Milicite for Washington State in 2nd. Cecilia Renlund in 3rd. As swimmers making their last turn, Revitt fairly large lead now. It's Darcy Revitt bringing it home for her 2nd individual win of the day in all likelihood. She finishes at 48.87. .48.87 was the time in the 100 free, and that is a Gibb Pool record for Darcy Revitt. It is a Gibb Pool record at 48.87. It is not a Washington State record as Darcy Revitt holds that 48.05 away from Gibb Pool. 49.26 was the original 100 free time. Of course, 2 swimmers still to come here. Denise Montevere for Denver. Lorelei Killerin for Washington State. It does look as though we have a Gibb Pool record today here for the first time. As the second heat underway, Denise Montevere in lane 4 for Denver. With the lead in this heat, Lorelei Killerin for Washington State in lane 5. Halfway through, Montevere 25.03. These 2 swimmers getting some more experience in this duel. Montevere making her final turn. We're now making her way back to the wall as well. As Montebear done in 52.56. And Lorelei Killerin finishing up. So we await the final scoring. Pioneers in good spirit and good voice, though. As the score now reads 113-37 in favor of Washington State. So 16 points for the Cougars in the 100-yard freestyle. That'll take us to the 200-yard backstroke. Lane assignments beginning with Caitlin Bluford of Washington State in lane 1. Samantha Sinsvall, mentioned freshman, having great success early on for the Pioneers. She'll be in lane 2. Ariel Wang in lane 3 for Washington State. Darian Kohler, lane 4 for the Pioneers. Jade Castro for the Cougars in lane 5. Ada Solicare for Denver in lane 6. Anna Rockholtz in lane 7, winner earlier. And Maria Del Monte for Denver in lane 8. Just the single heat for the 200-yard backstroke. As you see the swimmers go one by one, that was Ariel Wang there, followed by Darian Kohler of Denver, Jade Castro for Washington State. Swimmers in the pool for the 200 back. And the 200 back underway. And a Gibb pool record in the previous events in the 100-yard freestyle for Darcy Rebbit. See if either side sets another today. First turn through. Looks to be Castro in the lead, though actually Ariel Wang closing in lane 3, and she ended up getting to the wall first of 4 full laps. Jade Castro in second, Darian Kohler of Denver in third. Caitlin Bluford fourth for Washington State. As we near the halfway point here. And it is now Castro in front for Washington State. Ariel Wang second, Anna Rockholtz third. So Washington State in the top 3 positions with Ada Solicare for Denver in fourth. Castro about half a length lead right now. The first to make the turn. One back and forth remaining after this one, with Castro still in the lead and growing it a bit now. It's about a full length for Jade Castro. Castro, the junior from State College, Pennsylvania. In the lead, coming home here. Final stretch, so it's close. Lane 7 now, Anna Rockholtz. But it will be Castro to the board first. Rockholtz second, Darian Kohler third for Denver. Ada Solicare fourth, so 2 Cougars and 2 Pioneers scoring in that. Final time for Jade Castro, 2 minutes and 0.04 of a second. In the 200 backstroke. And the school hosting this one, now leading 127-42. So Jade Castro grabbing the victory there. I believe that is her first individual win in her collegiate swimming career. Congratulations to Jade. And now it'll be the 200-yard breaststroke. Lane assignments there. Jenna Kistler for Washington State will be in lane 1. Zoe Lynch for Denver, lane 2. Ashlyn Hernandez for Washington State, 3rd. Maloney for Denver in 4th. Emily Lundgren again back. Lundgren looking for another individual title today. She's in lane 5. Lily Zippel for Denver in lane 6. And Mac Rivera for Washington State, rounding out the 7-woman heats. There's that Zoe Lynch there. And Ashlyn Hernandez. You see Peyton Maloney. Emily Lundgren loosening up the arms and shoulders. Emily Zippel for the Pioneers and Mac Rivera. Yes. Swimmers up for the 200 breaststroke. It's a lead very early on. Looks to be with Lundgren in lane 5. But a close turn there. Pete Maloney of Denver and Ashlyn Hernandez of Washington State on her heels. But it is Lundgren in front. And 4 laps. So at the quarter pole, it is Lundgren in first. Leading by about a half second for teammate Ashlyn Hernandez. Lundgren, record after record. You look over the team record at the Gibb pool record, her name is all over it. Maybe trying to put her name up there again. It is Lundgren in front, Hernandez second, Maloney third. So lanes 3 through 5 carrying the action here. Lundgren again keeping her lead. One more lap after this one. But Lundgren's lead is now a full length with Hernandez at second, but Maloney from Denver in third and closing on Hernandez. Emily Lundgren in lane 5, well out in front here. Looking to take another individual title today and add to her illustrious record here at Washington State. Lundgren is going to grab this one, you would think. The race for second now close again between Hernandez and Maloney. Emily Lundgren's final time, 2 minutes 11.4. Hernandez takes second, Maloney right behind her in third. And the race for fourth, the close one, will be Jenna Kistler for Washington State. Picking that one up. It's very close there, not only for second, but also for fourth position. You see Emily Lundgren with the win, her second of the day. Career win number 45 for Lundgren. Ultimately, record-wise, everything's staying in place there, as Lundgren has the Gibb pool record, 208.78. She also holds it 206.18, the Washington State school record. Now we move on to the 500-yard freestyle. Tatum Janning, lane 1 for Washington State. Genevieve Franklin, lane 2 for Denver. Avery Bulkley, again the Mountain West Freshman of the Week. She in lane 3. Sabrina Rajabin of Denver, who won earlier, looking for her second win of this duel. Lauren Willie, lane 5. Nika Spear for Denver in lane 6. As you see the swimmers one by one, there's Sabrina Rajabin, again looking for her second win of the day. Lauren Willie for Washington State, Nika Spear for Denver. Sophie Hay for Washington State, and Paige Riley for the Pioneers. It's the 500-yard freestyle. Swimmers to their marks. Underway early on. Very close between Lauren Willie of Washington State and Nika Spear for Denver. As they come back for their first 20 laps. Now it's really tight between Bulkley and Willie. With Lauren Willie in first, Avery Bulkley in second. So Cougars in the top two spots, Tatum Janning in third. And Sophie in fourth. So Washington State is in the top four positions very early on in this race. And it's Willie holding the lead. Close behind her, Bulkley. Washington State still in the top four spots. Sabrina Rotchman of Denver in fifth. Currently the closest for Denver. As mentioned, awfully long way to go in this one. Willie's lead opening up to close to a full body length. Rotchman has also tightened things up. She's in second now. Tatum Janning in third. Hay in fourth. Bulkley falling off the pace there on that leg. Lauren Willie. The lead is now full body length for her. Record in the 500 free for Washington State is 4:43.35. Here at Gibb Pool, 4:50.14. So we'll just keep an eye on those times as we go. Lauren Willie for Washington State leading the pack here. It's a little bit more, maybe 1.5 lengths now. Sabrina Rotchman in second for Denver. Tatum Janning for Washington State in third. Janning in lane one, closest to the camera. Right now, between those three, by and large, in the top four places score. Willie's lead now almost 2 lengths in lane 5. Rotchman second, Janning third. And the race for fourth is pretty tight. Paige Riley for Denver there first. Avery Bulkley in fifth. Sophie Hay into sixth. So Bulkley has picked things back up. But Lauren Willie is the story here in the 500 free. It's still 2 lengths over Sabrina Rotchman. Lauren Willie, the senior from Oswego, Illinois. Interesting birthplace and hometown for Lauren Willie. She was born in Lake Oswego, Oregon, then ended up moving to Oswego, Illinois. Spelled the same, pronounced differently. And it is Willie in front. The length is now 2.5 to 3 for Willie. Rotchman in second. Those two have separated themselves. Tatum Janning in third, still with some space. And again, the race for fourth is now 4 swimmers wide, it seems. As the bell rings, final lap upcoming. Lauren Willie for Washington State in the lead. Sabrina Rotchman for Denver in second. Tatum Janning in third for the Cougars. 29.82 on that last lap for Willie as she makes the turn and heads for the wall. This is a very strong time for Lauren Willie coming in here, as she touches the wall at 4:51.94. Now second, it'll be Sabrina Rachman of Denver. And Tatum Janning will finish third. And the time for Lauren Willie, 4:51.94. Just 1.8 seconds behind the Gibb pool record. So a very strong swim for Lauren Willie, who grabs the victory for Washington State. And fourth, Paige Riley ended up grabbing that for Denver. Now 154.53, the score in favor of Washington State. And the Cougars have been sharp today, I think you'd have to say. This was a closer duel in Denver last year. For these coaches that know each other quite well, Russell Whitaker for Washington State viewing Alicia Hicken-Franklin of Denver as a mentor of sorts. And we mentioned Hicken-Franklin earlier, the Denver head coach. She was an assistant here, got her graduate degree, her master's degree here. 1997 to 2000 she was in Pullman, but Franklin again, I should say, Whitaker viewing Franklin as a mentor of sorts in the coaching biz. High respect. They know each other well. Your swimmers have been strong as we head now to the 100-yard butterfly. This is the last event before our second break here in this duel. There will be two heats. Total of 10 swimmers, 7 in this heat one, as you see them rolling along now. That was Julia Saxman for Denver. Isabel Parrish, lane 5 for Washington State. Allie Bay for Denver in lane 6. Now the 100 fly on the go here at Gibb Pool. Very tight early on. Looks to be Julia Saxman in lane 4 for Denver in front. As she touches the wall first, Isabel Parrish in second. 0.2 of a second behind. The Denver Pioneers looking for their second individual win of the day. And Julia Saxman bring it home for the Pioneers. She'll make the turn first. And it is close, Saxman in the lead. As they come to the wall. And it is Julia Saxman for Denver, 54.85, the winner of the 100 fly. Again, we believe. Isabel Parrish in second for Washington State at 55.44. Skylar Burgach finishing third for Washington State, 55.66. And then Isa Cardenas of Denver in the fourth place spot. So we await the tallying. Denver going to put some more points on the board, getting their second individual win of the day. Again, we believe. Still 3 swimmers to go here. All Washington State swimmers. Clara Anderson in lane 3, Addie Lewis in lane 5, Sawyer Yana in lane 7. So, all thoughts on scoring, not final yet. As heat number 2 of the 100-yard butterfly. Right now, looks to be Addie Lewis leading this second heat. It is Lewis in lane 5, followed by Clara Anderson in lane 3, the Moscow, Idaho product just across the way. So Yana rounding out the heat at the moment. The swimmers make their final turns. It is Lewis. Andy Lewis coming to the wall. Clara Anderson closing, but it's going to be Lewis. 55.73. Sarah Anderson 56.59. Sawyer Yana 57.56. Rounding out the 100-yard butterfly. We await the final scoring of that going on the board. It's now Washington State 162, Denver 64. We take our final break of this duel right here on YouTube. Back one more time to Gibb Pool on this Halloween Friday late afternoon. Two more events to come in this duel between the Washington State Cougars and the Denver Pioneers as we're gearing up for the 200-yard individual medley. And solid crowd here. That's Tom Sanford, one of the academic directors, to the right. And well represented here at Gibb Pool today. That's the first heat. 7 swimmers in this one. There will be 1 in the second. Lane assignments. Anna Solicare for Denver. She'll be in lane 2. There she is there. Ariel Wang for Washington State in lane 3. Samantha Sinsval for Denver in lane 4. And Emily Lundgren back in the pool for Washington State in lane 5. She won this event in the Fresno State Invite earlier this year. Lily Zippel in lane 6 for Denver. Ashlyn Hernandez in lane 7. And then Isa Cardenas for Denver in lane 8. And it's the second to last event of this duel. Washington State has it firmly in hand, but obviously each individual swimmer wanting to swim their best and some more points on the board. Denver looking for their 3rd individual win of the day. And the 200-yard freestyle relay will close out the duel. Has rolled through the swimmers again. There's Ariel Wang for Washington State. She was just adjusting the goggles, making sure everything's set. Samantha Sinsval for Denver. Emily Lundgren for Washington State. And Lily Zippel for the Pioneers. Ashlyn Hernandez for the Cougars. And behind her, Isa Cardenas for Denver. 200-meter individual medley. As it looks to be Lundgren. First 25 yards. But it is close, pretty well across. Lundgren leading. You have Wang and Sinsval for Washington State and Denver, respectively. It's a Cardenas as well. Cardenas ending up 2nd. Ariel Wang 3rd. Close with Lundgren leading the way. In the backstroke portion of the medley. Lundgren still about a half length up. Cardenas in the far lane, over in lane 8. Closely behind. So too Sinsval and Wang of Denver and Washington State, respectively. Lundgren's lead tightening there. The backstroke portion. Stroke going now. Lundgren's lead lengthening. It's close to a full length over Ariel Wang. Samantha Sinsval of Denver, currently in 3rd. So Lundgren leading. Cardenas for Denver in 4th, close behind Sinsval. Now in the freight. And Lundgren starting to stretch the lead out even further. It is a full length at least. As Lundgren to the wall first, 2:01.74 time. Emily Lundgren has her 3rd individual win of the day. Ariel Wang 2nd for Washington State. Samantha Sinsval 3rd for Denver. And Isa Cardenas picking up points in 4th. Lily Zippel in 5th for the Pioneers. Ashlyn Hernandez 6th for Washington State. And Solicare for Denver 7th. And we'll have one more swimmer. Devin Burnett for the Pioneers will have the pool to herself here in lane 4. the time she's got to beat. As the whistle blows for Devin Burnett. Burnett, the senior from Markham, Ontario, just outside of Toronto. Perhaps hoping her Toronto Blue Jays can win the World Series tonight, but focused on the events in the pool right now. And Burnett, a senior. Getting encouragement. You can hear it around the pool from her teammates. Still to come, one final event, the women's 200-yard freestyle relay. That'll follow this and close out this afternoon's events here at Gibb Pool. Burnett working through the backstroke. Got to be a bit of an odd feeling to have the pool all to yourself. Teammates cheering her on. We're not nearing 3/4 of the way through. And the freestyle relay teams already preparing themselves for the last event of the day. And into the freestyle now. Burnett making her way back here. And her final time going up. 11:30. Washington State firmly in command of this duel. Looks like they're going to take the home and home back-to-back years. Lead now 105, 175-70. Insurmountable. The Pioneers looking for a relay win to close out the day. Washington State looking to finish as strongly as they did early on. They opened up this duel by taking the 400-yard medley relay. If you have a look at the lane assignments, Denver's A being led by Tanaya Witter. She'll have the first leg. In lane 4. Lane 3, Washington State's B. Skylar Burgotch will open things up. There's Tanaya Witter. Isabel Parrish for Washington State will open the Washington State A relay. Then Nika Spehar, the Denver B. And Washington State's Jade Castro will have the opening leg for the C relay, but that doesn't mean those will finish that way. Last event of the day here at Gibb Pool. 200-yard freestyle relay. So one lap each. Quick start. Isabel Parrish for Washington State in their A relay with the early lead, not by much. Now about half a length though, as Parrish very strong in this opening leg. That'll bring Barbara Milicite for Washington State in. And then it's Cecilia Renlund for Washington State in their B side, helping to close. But right now it is the Washington State A in firm command, almost a full length ahead. Third leg, Catherine Jide for the Cougars. Angie Wyan for the Pioneers. Washington State beat Addie Lewis in the pool. Washington State A in lane 5, currently out in front. And the Washington State B in second, the Denver A in third. Anchor Lake here. Darcy Revitt for Washington State in lane 5. It's the Cougar A relay. Bringing it home, 130-92. So Washington State on the board with the win. The B will take the second spot. And then Denver's A and B, third and fourth respectively. See Darcy Revitt. Individual win today, relay win today. Capping a strong Friday afternoon for the Washington State Cougars. So we'll wait the final scoring. Again, these two squads back in the pool tomorrow, though not against one another. Washington State will host Northern Arizona here early. 10 in the morning, I believe it is tomorrow, here at Gibb Pool. Denver will be over on the Idaho side of the border, taking on the Idaho Vandals. And the final score on the board, Washington State 190, Denver 72. As the Cougar faithful here, enjoying this Halloween Friday. 2 individual wins for Denver. Everything else carried by the Washington State Cougars. On this Friday, we can hear the cheering underneath. And the Cougar fight song playing now. As Washington State won the duel between these two by about 60 last year. Different story today, 190-72 the final. And the Cougars, who were 8-0 in duels last year, are 1-0 to start the 2025-2026 campaign. It's an impressive day in the pool, and with that, we will bid you adieu on this Halloween Friday. Good luck to all the trick-or-treaters out there. For our great crew led by Jared Prengoover, Doug Taylor saying so long from Gibb Pool, where the final score reads Washington State 190, Denver 72. This has been a presentation of Washington State Cougar Athletics on YouTube. Again, happy Halloween, everybody.